Hey everybody, welcome to Jen Lowry Writes. Today I am so excited to introduce to you again my dear friend Alison Hendrix from Allie Likes to Write. There's Allie, guys. And her illustrator, Katelyn Messer. So for those of you who don't know Allie lives in North Carolina. Her writing is inspired by her family and her faith, and she enjoys finding magic in everyday situations. Though she's always enjoyed writing, her career as an author actually began when her daughter was born. Now, Alison has written and illustrated children's books, middle grades novels, short fantasy stories, a Christmas love story, poems. Allie, you're amazing. I love you. Thank you
I
for
love
being on
you
the
too.
show. And guys, this is my first time meeting Katie, and I'm so blessed that she's joined us today. This is Katelyn Messer. She's a stay-at-home mom that's also pursuing her art dreams. She's currently trying to find her style and space in the artist community. Her Instagram and all of her Facebook, you can find her at K Messer Art, and I will put all of those links in the description. So, hey, Katie.
Hello.
Stay at home mom, balancing
Yeah.
all of that. We hear you're little.
Yes.
Yes, and having time to illustrate Lenny the Last Lightning Bug. First, before we get started talking about the illustration part, like let's talk about the whole point about where did the story come from? You said you started to write Allie when Molly was born. Like really take your author career seriously. So Molly was the inspiration for Lenny the
Oh,
Last Lightning Bug.
absolutely.
Knew it.
And you probably know from reading my other stories and stuff, she's kind of the main character in most of my stories and most of my books. But that one was the first one that she appeared in, and I think I wrote it in about 20 minutes after one night we were outside playing and she was just toddling around looking at mess and there's lightning bugs in the backyard and I thought, what if one of the lightning bugs didn't want to go at the end of the season because he wanted to stay and play with Molly? And so I wrote the story pretty quickly, and then I decided to do the watercolors because just that's what I saw in my head. Yep, the original ones, and I loved it. I love the way that it turned out, and I put it on Amazon for sale. That one is still available, but then. And I'll talk about how I met Katie and everything. Just it was such a God thing. God just brought her right into my life. But she did a bookmark for me. I was like, hey, I saw that you make bookmarks for whatever she likes, and they're beautiful and gorgeous. So I thought maybe she can make a Lenny the Last Lightning Bug bookmark. And I said, just play around with it, do whatever you want. And it was so gorgeous. It was so pretty. Immediately, I was like, can you come over to my house? Because I want to ask you something. And then I was like, please just do my whole book for me.
So you waited. So Katie, she dragged you over to the house and then dropped that on you. Were you expecting that,
Yes.
Katie?
No,
And
I
so
was not.
the bookmark led to a contracted situation here, a collaboration for Lenny the Last Lightning Bug.
Yes, it did. It was cute. It was a lot of fun doing.
So was that your first book that you've actually illustrated? Was that your first, or what other things have you done in your portfolio?
This is the first book. At the time that I did the bookmark for Allison, I had just started doing digital illustration. Like I'd only been doing it a couple months.
And it was
So,
gorgeous. She's very talented.
And so, Allie, you just felt it in your spirit, like right away.
Oh, I knew it. As soon as I saw that bookmark, and it had the picture from one of my pages on there. Let's see if I can show it to you. I wanted to have the bookmark here for you, but I sold them all, so I need to get some more. But it was this one where Molly's like pulling the wagon, and it was so pretty. I said, I've got to I really want my whole book done that way. And she would send me pictures. Like, Katie was just amazing to work with. She would send me a picture at a time as she finished it, and it was just coming together, and I could feel the Lord just moving in my heart, and I loved it. It's exactly what I saw in my head, exactly what I wanted. And I think Katie might be she might be one of the most patient people I've ever met in my life, because she would work with me constantly, and I'd be like, can you change this up just a little bit? And just right away she did. And I don't know if I could ever get another illustrator after her.
Oh, Katie, it sounds like you're permanent.
Yes. I liked it. It was a lot of fun, and she was fun to work with, and it was a little unique because she already had all the characters and stuff designed, so I just had to do it in my style. So it was a lot of fun taking her characters and making them my own.
So you just got a copy of Lenny, and she was just like, here you go, and then you took it into your pageant.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. So what did you learn about yourself, though, Katie, as an illustrator, as you was moving through this whole process? Like, what were you learning as a new illustrator for children's books, since this was your first go?
Well, the first thing I learned was, I was just learning a lot because, like I said, I had only been doing it a couple of months, and so I learned a lot about just the tool itself. And I also learned how to properly back up my stuff, because I ended up losing the entire book, but I luckily had already sent it all to Alison.
What? Wow.
Yes.
So it was meant for you to get by page, Allie.
Yes.
It worked out well. And I remember you telling me one time too, Katie, after we had finished everything and it was all done, I remember her saying, I kind of wish I could go back and do it all over, because I've learned so much in the process. And I think we probably feel that way for every project that we do, but I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out.
I know a lot of artists that won't keep their own work because they say the longer they look at it, the more they hate it. So they just get rid of all their artwork right away.
Oh.
But then that's where that comes in, where you know that you've done your part. You've satisfied Allie. You've got to feel good about that, right?
Yes.
And then
my son loves books because he keeps
this is precious. This is all about literacy here, guys. We're K-12 Love. You see all the books he's just throwing around. But talk about that balance too, because you both have young children, and you're both going after. You've got your art dreams. You've got your author career going on. So talk about that balance.
So I know for Katie, I'm not sure how she balances it all out, because I see her doing these amazing things. And I remember thinking when I first had Molly, I wish I had time to just paint, to do that again. But as far as trying to work in the author life with the little is a lot of getting up early in the morning, and I'm not an early morning person, Jen, but that's where coffee drinking has really come in a lot since I've become a writer too. But yeah, it's an early morning thing, and also an afternoon thing while she's watching cartoons. Just get it in. I was trying to work on my query letter this afternoon while Molly was watching YouTube videos. So you just do it when you can, but the main thing is 100% it's God inspired, and God puts it in your heart. And there's a lady at my church that says all the time, if God tells you to do something, you better do it. So you got to find time to do it.
Because he's not going to let you go. He's not going to let you go until you keep on.
Mm-hmm. I think Katie's the same way too, because I see her going, and I see her creating things, and I just know God's put that desire in her heart.
Yeah, it's so funny. I've had just wanted to draw and do art since a kid, but I never did it seriously because I didn't feel comfortable. And then, you just get older and you just stop caring so much what other people think, and you just start doing it because you love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have so many pictures of me in my art studio when he was first born. Him sitting in my lap while painting. And I actually started doing digital art because it's just so much easier to do digital art with a toddler because you don't have to clean up all the paints and everything. So if he is being like he is right now, I can just put it down. And do
Daddy! He's precious. We totally understand. Trust me. We have a house too. That's you. I remember those days. And then now that the boys are older, then, I do have a lot more of the pockets of time, that I can devote to my work. But I still, balancing the family, even though they're older, we still are going walking this evening. So I have to put everything away so we could go outside and be together. And I still, even when they're older, I still find that time that, God first, then the kids, and then my career, And I find that it's, each day, if you do just a little bit each day, after the end of the week, you can look back and see what you've accomplished and say, wow. And tell me about Lenny. How long did that process for you, Allison? You said 20 minutes to write the book.
Mm-hmm. And then probably after that, it was a whole lot longer than I thought it would be to draw and sketch and use watercolor pencils. I'd never used those before. So that was several months in between, doing this and that. So it was right at a year before I had everything together. And then it took me a while to figure out how to get those scanned in and get everything on the laptop so that I could write on it. And anyway, so it wound up being about a year and a half before I actually hit publish on KDP. So that took a while. It was much shorter of a process to give all those pictures to Katie. And I was looking back through our messages earlier today so I could tell you, I started talking with her about it in August, and then we started in October. And I think I had everything by December.
Wow, Katie, look at you.
It was fun. I just did it a lot. Anytime I had spare time, I would work on it.
Wow, so. That is a good timeline though, Allie, because then you got to see it and the energy was there and it continued to push through the project. And now that you've got Lenny, look. But it's not just Lenny, it's Molly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, like sitting down and knowing that you've captured Molly here in the book, like this is one of those forever books.
Oh, yeah. Don't make me cry again today.
But it is. I've already cried too today, just doing stuff. But
it's what mommies do.
It is. But like when you look back and you have this one, you have your creation, which is still beautiful and absolutely lovely. So now Molly has the two copies, the one Mommy did and then the one Mommy's friend did. And to see that both of these projects are all about Molly and about the Lord too, because the message is there. Be a light, be kind, show someone you care, show them that it's just spending time with one another that makes the difference. Not necessarily what you do, but that spending of the time. The themes are so just lovely. Like this is a huggable book. Like Katie, when you first read it, did you have the same feeling about the themes of the book and the message?
I did. I thought it was really sweet, and I got emotional reading it too. And I have a little kid myself, so. And then my mother-in-law, I actually showed it to her as I was working on it, and she cried. She thought it was so sweet. And so it's such a sweet book.
What it is if the mother-in-law cried, Allie, it's because it is sweet. It is enduring. It's one of those books that it's just a feel-good night story. It's one that you would put your child to bed with. And it's that hope that is there that we can be the light of Christ. And so teaching that like biblically without using any, people from the Bible, you've used a lightning bug, you've used an everyday situation to just have this message here. I think that's what's a powerful testimony for Molly and for children. Like it is, Allie. You know I love you anyway. I love you, but I love your work. And I love the message of your work. And I do just feel like either way it goes, as soon as Lenny came out, y'all, I bought the book. I was like, buy, get it, it's mine. As soon as Lenny came back out again, buy, Lenny. Like I had it
So
ordered.
supportive.
Like I had it ordered. Like as soon as I saw Allie announce it, I went right back in, Katie. I didn't say, oh no, that's fine. I've got this first, Lenny. No, I have them both because I too treasure the story, but I also treasure the process that you guys went through to get it to this final look.
Well, Jen, two things about that. One, that just touched my heart so much because that is the one thing that I want to do is to bring glory to God. And before I sit down and write every day, whenever I start a new project, I always pray, please let this bring you glory. And that melts my heart right there. And the other thing is, it was so great working with an illustrator who was just as excited as I was about it. Like, I don't know how other illustrators are because this is my first, my first time working with one, but sending Katie the book or like one picture at a time and then seeing her little emojis that she sent back, and you're just as excited as I was, I think, during the whole process, and that was awesome.
Yes, I was excited the whole time. It was so much fun, and even the ones that I was having, like I said, I was new, so the ones that I was struggling with, it was still so much fun, even though it was like difficult and challenging. Which I don't know. I think most artists like challenges anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
it was a good thing.
But see that positive spirit though, Katie, like you didn't allow that to get you down. You saw
No,
the challenge, you saw the problem, you just continue to work through that to get to your product.
yes,
Like the positive spirit is there. I can feel it. And so that's where the joy comes from though, because you said I'm doing what I love.
yes. I just I really enjoy making things. Taking something that's blank and making it beautiful. So.
And so Allie, how did you so you said you found her through this whole I want to create a bookmark for my book. So were you
Oh, yeah.
using the bookmark as a promotional tool?
So I was, but actually I met Katie. This is why I know it was a God thing. I met her through a mom's group, like a local mom's group. And we just happened to hit it off, and we were emailing back and forth to each other and for a while. And then she started posting things on Facebook, like this is what I do. And I've been making these bookmarks, and they were for sale at a vendor junction in Wilson, right? Vendor Junction, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes. I
And
was there for a little bit.
oh, okay. Well, they were there for a while, and they were amazing. And I bought a few of them because you can never have too many bookmarks ever.
Right.
And so then I was like, well, maybe she could make some for me for promotions, and that's what I used them for. Yeah, and then I just had to have it for my book. I wanted something more professional because I did love my watercolors, but I wanted something that looked like something you would see in a bookstore, right? Like grab it off the shelf, and that's what Katie did for me.
Yay, Katie. Katie, you came right in time. It sounds like you were an answered prayer for Allie.
No.
Yep.
I honestly, and even still now, I couldn't believe that she wanted me to illustrate the book for her. But I'm so thankful and I'm so proud of it. And I've, so many of my family and friends have bought the book, and it's just nice to know they have it. And it's a good feeling that you get when people like what you have created.
And so you've got the support, and then your son is going to have your book. Did you you're passing books all the time. What did he say when he saw Mama's work?
He said bug. He said,
Yay!
and he likes it. He calls it the bug book.
Love it. Love it so much. So, future work for you, Katie, what are some of the other things that you've been working on or that you do like to display with your art?
Right now I am currently I don't really have a style or anything yet, so I'm currently trying to work on that. But I really would like to write a children's book, and I talked about this with Allison because I'm currently expecting another little baby, and so
Oh,
I told Allison
congratulations.
that I wanted to write and illustrate my own book called Becoming a Brother, and
Oh,
I wanted to write a graphic novel. And so, just because I like books and I like art, so I want to put them together. But it's hard like designing characters and just everything. So right now I'm just focusing on improving my artistic skills, and then everything else will come in time. But
yep. Love it. And then you can come to the conference on Saturday or go back and do some replays of some of the videos because we'll be talking about character development and setting and all of that. And you might be able to pick up some little tidbits along the way from some of the authors at the conference. Um, Allie, so she's been talking to you about writing.
Oh yeah. So I don't know how much she wants me to share, but Katie
I'm
has
pretty
some
open.
okay.
Yeah.
She has some fantastic ideas that I'm pretty passionate about too, and some things that we talked about a while back with her graphic novels that I think could really help people who are struggling with anxiety and depression and things like that. And she's got this beautiful personality and these awesome ideas. And then when she was telling me she wanted to write her son a book there about being a little brother, that was that touched my heart. So I definitely want to help if I can. I'll be happy to help you with any of that. And there was I think there was a couple of other little things you were talking about writing at one point, and I just remember being super loving that, super being supportive of that. Because I mean, if you can write it and illustrate it, you're the whole package. That's amazing.
Yeah. I found that the art comes much easier than the writing for me. Like I have the general idea, but
You know, you post stuff like on your Instagram and stuff that I guess it's just things that you
yeah,
like
I
the turtle and the rose that I saw that or the tulip that looked just like a real flower. I thought it
Oh,
was a
yes.
real picture, a
I
photograph.
did too. I did too. I saw that one, Allie. Because, yes,
I'll
I
just pull
follow
it.
you, Katie, just to
See.
let
Oh, dear.
you yes.
This is
See
my most
Allie
recent
post.
one.
Whoa. Oh, look
Oh.
at that. Okay,
But
that's my stuff.
in the process of just trying to find my style, I am just drawing anything that I like versus I don't know if you notice a lot of artists follow like themes and they just create a lot of like one thing usually,
Mhm.
and that's just because that's what they found their style and what they like already, and I don't have that yet. I just like so many things and I create whatever that is at
Hey,
the
That's awesome.
that could be your hodgepodge style, like where you're just
time. It
you're
could be.
the coat of many colors, Katie. That's what it's.
You
Hey,
know,
go ahead,
okay.
Alex.
I was going to say I think writing's the same way. You know, at least with the artist, you find a picture that you love and you just kind of post your picture. But when I'm writing just random little snippets here and there, they don't go with anything, so I don't post that stuff. It usually just gets trashed. But
Or
it's
or
taken a while to put it all figure out what your style is and what you like.
and you
Yeah,
could be like Allie, who writes in all different types of genres,
Right.
different ages. You could be like, okay, this is for middle grade, this is for adult, this is for my children's picture book style. You never know. You may find you might find that yourself that, you're not just one flower, you're a whole forest. And you just go, go
Oh,
with where the Lord leads you, Katie.
yeah. I've talked to a couple of my artist friends about that and about how I really kind of like I said, I struggle with the whole niching down thing the artists are pressured to do, because I'm like, I don't want to just do one thing, but
I will say continue to do what the Lord has put on your heart to do, and to continue to walk in that path, and you cannot go wrong. You
He's
know,
going to bless you for sure.
and if you find joy in the work, continue to do that thing. It's the one that brings you the joy. So if I say, what's my style? What's my writing style? Joy. Just joy, right?
There you go.
That's my writing style. Maybe that's my way. It's just whatever brings me joy that's the thing that I should pursue and go after with, all my heart, because then that's where we find our peace. That's where even in the challenge, that's where you find your peace. Even when it's hard, Allie, even when it takes a while, or even when, when you have the joy for it, that's where that peace comes. And then at the end of it, Katie, that's why you're probably also so proud.
Probably.
Because it is the journey, and for that moment, you knew that what you did for that work, you captured what was in Allie's heart. Because Allie, when you said at the beginning, this was my vision, and she made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that, that's all to me what the expectation would be. Like bringing something to life that's in someone's head, and doing your part. So I love the collaborative effort that you guys had. I'm not going to say it's magic. I'm going to say it's a blessed collaboration. That the Lord just put the both of you with each other. And Katie, when did you decide you wanted to start writing? Had you ever written before?
Yeah, I have just written little things, and I think about writing a lot more than I actually write, but I think that's just true with a lot of every creative thing ever. You think about it more than you actually do it. And I think I just like to read, and so when you like to read, letter K, when you like to read, I think it's natural to have also book ideas, just because the imagination is there. But I don't know if I'll write or if I'll illustrate and then find a writer. Helly.
Which can happen too. That's another collaboration. You see it all the time. You see it all the time. So it's that collaborative spirit that can put words or art and combine them together in many different ways. And I just say, I love Lenny.
Yes.
Love Lenny, the last lightning bug. Love you guys.
We love you too, Jen.
Yes,
thanks so much for having us here, by the way.
You.
Nice meeting you too. I know that Allie, with it being Kidlit this month with the Writing Warriors for Jesus, right away it's like, what book matters? It's like, Allie, day one, gotta shout out Lenny. Gotta give my props to where it's due. And I'm just so excited to see the journey that you guys are on. Even though we're all on different paths, we're serving the same Lord. We have a heart for this work. And so sisters in Christ doing their thing in their small spaces, and serving a mighty God. And just doors continue to open. Ideas will continue to come, Katie. Allie, tell her, watch out, because once you get into that lane,
it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. So, Allie, I say that. Katie has kind of said what's next for her. What's next for you?
Oh my goodness, Jen. So I've got one novel, that my middle grade fantasy novel, that is almost done being edited, and I was talking with you about that earlier. I'm going to submit it, so we'll start hopefully looking for agents, and or just submitting to publishers and see what happens. I've got the second novel in that series that is done, but it needs some editing. I'm also working on my Pastor Rising series from my blog, because of Kindle Vella. So if you're listening and you don't know about Kindle Vella yet, I think it's going to be an awesome new thing that Amazon's offering, where you can read in serial form. So a chapter at a time, or just a piece at a time. And I've got something I want to work on for that. And I have another picture book idea, Katie. So might be talking to you about that. And I also want to get back into doing my podcast again and try to work that back up. So
Nice. And so y'all don't know this, but before I hit record, Allie was like, "Now, Jen, what are you working on, and how many things can you do at once?" I knew it was coming, and now it's my turn to say, "Okay, Allie, you just proved the point."
it's true. It's true because I mean we all do it. Have tons of projects, and just because you finish one or you got one that you're working on doesn't mean you don't have another idea pop in your head.
Oh,
So
trust me. I had a fear about that. And our friend Pooja, Allie knows Pooja, Katie. I was talking to Pooja and I'm like, I've got to say goodbye to these characters. She said, "Why are you worried? As soon as you say goodbye to them, more characters are going to come." And it was almost like I didn't believe it, right? I was like going through a mourning period. I was on the last chapter. And as soon as I did, I sat back and then I got a song lyric in my head. And it started playing, and I was like, "Pooja, I got a new idea for a book."
oh my goodness.
And it hasn't stopped since. So Pooja warned me. So Katie, now it's your turn. We're going to let you know that, as you can see, when you're crafting with your art, one project down, now you're on to the next one.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm
one of the awesome things about being an author, artist, creative type person, the sky is the limit. It's really, you can do anything you want to do. And then the more that you do, the more ideas of other things you can do just keep popping in. And yeah, it's so fun because there's no outline, there's no guidelines, there's no rule book. You just keep going. Do whatever God puts in your heart to do.
and exactly with self-publishing, because you chose to self-publish Lenny the Last Lightning Bug. You've been on this journey for 2 years now, Allie, because you said it took about a year for your first products.
Yeah. So in 2019, I went to a conference. I think it was 2019. Yeah. I went to the writers conference and I met an agent there. You know how you can buy like 15 minutes with an agent. So I was like, I'm going to pitch her this Lenny the Last Lightning Bug book and she's going to think it's amazing and I'm going to be famous. And she was like, yeah, keep trying, and I didn't even have I think I had a Facebook page at that time, but she was like, you need to get an Instagram. And I was like, I don't even know how to use Instagram. So a lot of things have changed since then, but it's been a journey for Lenny for sure. A fun one.
And it's been a journey for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're building your author platform and you're continuing to chase words while you're doing it simultaneously and raising Molly and doing so much that you do in your life. So any platform tips for people out there in the world? Y'all can talk about that. I know, Katie, you've got YouTube and TikTok, Facebook and Instagram. Any platform advice?
Well, everyone will always tell you consistency is key, and that's true. Consistency gets you attention, but don't sacrifice the quality of your work because that'll hurt you in the long run. Don't just push to be posting every day or every week and sacrifice the quality of it. It's better to post rarely, even though the algorithm will kind of push you down, but it'll pay off more in the long run, I think.
Nice. Love that, Katie. Allie, what's some advice you'd like to give about building a platform? Since you said, somebody said Instagram, and I went,
Yeah. I've learned most of everything that I've learned about that in the past 2 years since I've joined the WWJs. But I think maybe one of the main things that I'm trying to focus on is I definitely want to get everywhere. I have to figure out TikTok, Katie. I don't know what I'm going to do about TikTok. I got to figure that. But they say, or at least I think it's best to have one platform that you're super comfortable with and use that as like your main one. But definitely post every now and then, which I haven't been doing so well on all of those, but post every now and then on all of them, just so Google can pick your name up and people can find you if they want to know about your work. But Facebook is definitely my main one because it's easiest for me, and Yeah, I think that's probably my advice there.
Like I'll start with Facebook and then I'll just kind of cycle around.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
good.
I'll start there and just get myself in my habit of doing that whole cycle through the apps and the platform pieces, just to try to engage and see, if I can meet new people on the platforms, people I can collaborate with. That's what I love the platforms for, because I've met amazing people through social media.
Hmm.
Like without that, I wouldn't meet authors and, Katie, I wouldn't have the opportunity to, find you guys if it wasn't for Facebook. I would have met Allie. Like if we look back and just try to connect the dots, I know it's a Holy Spirit thing. I know the Lord brings us all together and lines us up with the people in our corners. But, without me out there, we wouldn't have formed our connections too. So that's why I think that there is so much power in community.
One more thing on that is when I first started, and you challenged me to create a video and to create a YouTube channel, which I was like, what does an author need a YouTube channel for? I had no what kind of videos is a writer gonna, but I think definitely challenge yourself to do those things, because once again, the sky's the limit and there's no rule book about what you have to post, what your video has to be about. I still have these grand plans for promotional videos for Lenny, to go and talk with the guy who has the horse across the street that is in the Lenny book. And I mean, it can literally be anything that you want. So definitely utilize the different tools that are out there, because it's fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
Because it's
And what Allison was saying is grapes. It can really be anything. And I think where people go wrong, or even right, I guess, is people aren't really looking for perfect. They're looking for authentic. And so as long as you're showing up as your authentic self on any platform, people that are in your community and that truly will support you will gravitate towards you naturally.
Yes, I love it, and then it makes it easy. Then you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about, wait, what did I post? Or how did I come across that day? Do I need to continue with this, fakeness of myself? No, if you're just authentic, and you are, Allie, like your stuff,
Yeah.
it's free. It's going, to your hometown, and it's going and it's an experience that we can have with you. So you bring us along for your ride.
In conclusion, Allie is great.
Yes. Yes.
Aw, thank you.
Perfect. And Katie, you are too. And I'm just so blessed to have both of you here sharing just your words of advice and how you've collaborated and just going after your calling. So thank you for doing what the Lord has put in front of each one of you. And thank you for this, because my boys are too grown for Lenny the Lightning Bug. I'm not. I loved it. But this is on my special shelf that's going to be for my grandbabies. So they're going to have Lenny one day in the far off future. And then I'm going to be going, I know these people. Look, do you want to see them? And then I can pull this video up and say, look, there's Katie. You see that name? Look, there's Allie. And then I will get to introduce you guys to my grandchildren one day. And so this is what I mean by this is a forever book that then they'll carry around with them, and then they'll share with their children and their children. Because that's just how special it is. It's the huggable book, and it's a book that matters. And I just want to say thank you guys for working together, having the Lord first in this project, because when you read it, you can feel it.
It definitely was a God thing.
Yes.
And thank you, Jen. Thank
You're
you
so
so much for
welcome.
your kind words.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Love you guys. You got to go check out Katie. I'm going to have everything in the chat. I said in the chat because I'm looking over. I have everything in the description for Allie and Katie. So you can go and follow them on their platforms as you see what's up, what's new with them. And join us for our conference for K-12 on Saturday. That's going to be on May 22nd. And you will be able to meet other authors and illustrators and just get to hear about the process and the behind the scenes of how books are created and put together while you're following after your words. All right, guys, I hope y'all have a blessed one.